A march to City Hall today standing against the Memphis Safety Task Force set to move into the city on Monday. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for staying up with us. I'm Carolyn Surdam. Now, while some protesters say the extra manpower is exactly what the city needs to fight crime, today protesters expressed concern over what else this could mean. Fox 13's Rosalind Freeman joining us live from City Hall in Rosalind. It's a clear divide surrounding this task force that's going again to be here on Monday. But what are some of the concerns protesters shared while you were out there today?
Carolyn, the crowd was loud and clear. Free the 901 says bringing in the National Guard isn't going to solve crime in Memphis. Instead, they want local leaders held accountable and more investment in housing, schools, and youth programs.
So you heard it, right? It is not going to change anything, right? No crime. It's not going to change any crime. Y'all saw the title. We're going to go right to it.
For joining us, I'm Brian Dillick, filling in for Shay Arthur. This morning, U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi announced nearly 300 arrests have been made and more than 70 illegal weapons have been seized. WRG's Quemetra Wilborn begins our team coverage.
Sunday morning, U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi announces on social media that 273 arrests have been made in just under a week by the Memphis Safe Task Force. She says 73 illegal guns have been seized. It's the latest update on the status of the federal task force.
I mean, if they doing the right thing and getting the people they supposed to get, then yeah, I'm happy they're here. Since everybody know they're here, the people who, you know what I'm saying, the criminals are gonna go hiding.
The details of each arrest and the identities of the charged suspects have not been revealed. Bondi says the arrests consist of multiple gang members, including one wanted for murder. In his recent weekly newsletter, Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy said that the county is bracing for potentially more than 100 new cases a day due to the surge in arrests, which he said.
I'm confused, y'all. Hold on. I'm not the smartest dude ever. So we're going to go back because this young lady said something different. Hold on. Let's go back to what she said. I'm lost.
This is Memphis.
Youth programs. The crowd was loud and clear. Free the 901 says bringing in the National Guard isn't going to solve crime in Memphis. Instead, they want local leaders held accountable and more investment in housing, schools, and youth programs.
I'm shaking my head because they had 300 criminals off the street, over 100 guns. I want y'all to pay attention to something with these protesters, right? They always have the same talking points. Give the city more money. More money. Right? That's what the Chicago mayor said too. But as we seeing now, giving them more money without the reinforcement of police, it's not going to really do anything. It's not going to really do anything.
Could overwhelm the jail and create backlogs in the court system. He suggests that a night court may be the answer, but says immediate funding and support is needed. The presence of the task force has been seen across the city of Memphis, causing many people to have mixed feelings about the operation.
I just think it's a big waste and it's scary. And again, if they want to address crime or anything like that, they need to address the root of the problem, and sending the guard or the feds or anything like that, it's not going to do that.
Others say they're doing their part to just stay clear of any trouble.
I got paper tags on my truck, so I be driving somebody that's legit.
Oh, yeah. So now we're going to go to Tennessee's governor. He's going to break down how they're actually using all this help.
Thank you so much for joining us for Fox 13 News at midday. I'm Mandy Rock. We do have some breaking news for you today. The feds will arrive in Memphis next week, and that does include the National Guard. Governor Bill Lee just made that announcement. The National Guard is one of more than a dozen agencies that will be a part of the Memphis Safe Task Force. Governor Lee says Memphis is about to get a level of crime-fighting resources that's never been seen before in American history.
Never before has a city in this country had access to the level of resources that is about to be made to the city of Memphis. There's no city in America that has access to the resources we're about to get. And that is very hopeful for me. And I see this team of professionals behind us that are willing to work together and make this city safe. It's exciting for me. We have to do this.
And Fox 13's Troyce Grant was live at that news conference asking the governor about how this is going to all play out. She joins us now with a closer look on what we can expect. Troyce.
Yes, new details we just learned include when we will actually see agents here in Memphis, what other agencies will be involved, and whether or not guardsmen can actually make arrests. Now, you will start to see them here next week, but the whole process will be in phases. 13 different agencies will be working together over the next few weeks. That includes the National Guard, FBI, ATF, DEA, and ICE. Memphis is also getting a big boost in state troopers with more than 300 members of Tennessee Highway Patrol, part of the plans. And other states may play a role too. The governor said that nearby cities and states may be asked to hold anyone arrested in the crime crackdown if 211 Poplar gets too full. However, in most cases, it won't be the National Guard making those arrests.
The Guard will not be making arrests, and the Guard will not be armed except and unless the local law enforcement makes requests for that. So this is mission dependent, which means that when we begin this operation, we're going to understand a whole lot more about what's necessary out there. And information from the police department, for example, on what support they need will determine and drive whether or not a particular National Guardsman is armed. If that's what's necessary to support the Memphis Police Department, then that will be a decision that's made at the time. But
Wow. Now imagine this, right? This is week 2. The police and ICE are working together. The police are actually telling ICE, yo, if you need any type of pew, right? They're telling the police. And so it's imagine if that could actually happen for Chicago, right? Imagine how many guns would be off Chicago. So we're gonna go into week 2.
Of operations to end violent crime in Memphis and Shelby County. The Department of Justice says the task force made 321 arrests during week 1, including warrant pickups, gun charges, and even homicide. Action News 5's Michaela Redmond joining us live from downtown. Michaela, you spoke with the Republican Party of Shelby County about what the task force accomplished in week 1, right?
Joy, that's correct. Luke Simbel, the vice chairman, tells me people can start to feel law and order being restored in Memphis, and the task force has done a great job so far. On the flip side, Indivisible Memphis held a peaceful rally tonight and says some residents are still scared. Flying into the second week of operations for the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Department of Justice says 321 arrests were made, including 99 warrant pickups, 82 arrested on U.S. ICE warrants, 41 arrested on gun charges, and 1 person arrested for homicide.
There is a lot of positivity in the air because, again, what is happening is criminals are getting off the streets. The law-abiding citizens of Shelby County are taking back our community. It is exciting. Again, it is hopeful. People can feel law and order being restored.
On the other hand, Indivisible Memphis held a peaceful rally Monday night, saying there is still a lot of fear surrounding the task force and National Guard presence. An organizer said the message is really centered on community resilience and the right to free speech, even under intimidation. Folks are showing up to remind the city that peaceful dissent isn't a threat. It's a cornerstone of democracy.
I don't think anybody can argue with the idea that we should be getting criminals off the streets, and that's exactly what's happening.
According to the City of Memphis Data Hub, citywide violent crimes are down over 45% compared to this time last year. It shows violent crimes were down by almost 100 incidents in September compared to August, with 711 violent crimes and 11 murders in August. In September, there were only 612 violent crimes, but 12 murders. Now, 6 days into October, the data shows 67 violent crimes so far and 1 murder.
All right. That's week 2 of Memphis. So things seem to be working really well in Memphis, even though the liberals still have a stronghold on these people with these protests. This is he's so brainwashed. Give us more money. That's all we hear. Give us more money. But don't fix the crime. Like, you got to have both. You got to you got to have both, man. You can't give more money and then, because all you're going to do is enrich the criminals. That's all you're going to do. You're going to enrich the drug dealers. You're going to enrich the people that are, you know, doing crime. That's all you're going to do. So maybe if this goes well, the push to go Chicago and like actually help with the crime of Chicago will be more self-evident. Maybe. Let's cross our fingers on it, because this looks like it's going to be how it is in DC. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but leave your comments down below. I'm out.